Count the Ways by Scott Cawthon. Millie started to write. In her diary, she wrote and said out loud, "O death, show me your ravaged face. O death, how I long your chilly embrace. O death, my life is such a misery. O death, that only you can set me free." Meanwhile, in his stomach, a couple minutes later, actually, days later, sorry, Millie wrote in her diary again, except this time with more embrace. You clipped away the black, thorny vines that twisted around my wonderful heart, so it could beat and feel relief from pain. You are the gardener who wakes the plants from the gray, chilly death of winter, so that they can blossom again, like my heart. A slow-blooming, blood-red rose. Millie Fitzsimmons. Done. La-di-da-di-da. I'm gonna go to this garage. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh. Would you look at there? I'm gonna go inside. Why, if it isn't Millie Fitzsimmons? Silly Millie, chilly Millie. The ice-cold goth girl that's always dreaming about death. Am I right? Who are you? Where are you? Hello. Nice intro. Okay, just kidding. Now back to our storyline. Sorry. I'm right here, silly maybe. Millie. Or should I say, you're right here. You're right inside my belly. The belly of the beast, couldn't you say? Oh, chilly Millie. So you're the bear? You can think of me as my friend. Your friend till the end. We'll just have to decide if it's gonna be slow or quick. I don't understand. Well, you'll understand real soon, Millie. Millie. Chilly Millie, you goth girls crack me up. All just like professional mourners. So serious all the time. Daydreaming about death like he's a lead singer in a boy band. But when you finally meet him, it'll be like love at first sight. Well, Merry Christmas, Millie. I'm gonna make all your dreams come true. But it's not the question but how. I'd like to get out now. Nonsense! You're gonna stay right here, all nice and cozy, while we work out the kinks on how you're gonna have your dream date with death. The choice is all yours. It would be a pleasure for me to present you with some options. Options on how to die? Options on how to die. Exactly! You're catching on now. Bright girl, now you are. Now, I call the first couple options lazy options. They don't require me to do anything but keep you here and let nature take its course. The advantage of these, they're easy peasy for me, but not so easy for you. Slow with lots of suffering. But who knows? That might appeal to your morbid sensibilities. Lots of opportunities for languishing. You love languishing. What do you mean? Dehydration is one option. No water at all. You could start dying as in ah. No water at all. You could start dying in as few as 3 days. Or as many as 7. You're young and healthy, so I bet my money taking you a while. Depriving the body from water has fascinating effects. With no fluids coming in to filter and flush the body, the kidneys shut down, and your body starts poisoning itself, making you sicker and sicker. Or when those poisons have time to build up, you could suffer organ failure or heart attack or a stroke. But that's death for you. So glamorous, so romantic. Are you making fun of me? Not at all, my dear. I like you, Millie. And that's why I'm here to make your wishes come true. Like a genie in a bottle. Except you're the one who's trapped in a bottle. Starvation is another classic, too. But that's really a slow-moving train. It takes weeks for the body to use up its stored nutrition and break down all the proteins and turn on itself. It could take weeks. Some people have even lasted a couple of months. That'll never work. Grandpa comes in here every night to put around after dinner every night. He'll find me. Silly Millie, how? He'll hear me. I'll scream. Scream all you want, lamb chop. It's soundproof. Nobody can hear you. And plus, after a few days, you'll be too weak to scream. See, I had a thought about freezing you to death, too. I thought it could short out the power in here so the space heater turns off. And my metal body can get a little bit cold. But I figured your grandpa would come in here, know its power zone in his precious workshop, and would have to fix it right away. So freezing to death is a no-go. Sorry if you had your heart set on that one, sweet pea. I don't understand. Oh, why do you want to kill me? Interesting. You should ask. There's a couple reasons, actually. The first is quite simply, it's something to do. I've sat in the salvage yard for ages before your grandpa found me and brought me here, where I would have been sitting too. I'm bored out of my skull. Not that I have a literal skull, but you know what I mean. Aren't there other things you could do fun besides killing people? Whatever this being was, it was intelligent. Duh. Why would it be dumb? Anyway, not so interesting. And plus, there's my second reason, which is death is what you want. Death is what you want. You've been moaning and moaning around ever since you moved here. Talk about how you want to die. Well, I like to kill people, and you want to die. It's a beneficial relationship. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. Like those birds who pick off parasites from rhinoceroses. The bird gets to eat while the rhinoceros gets rid of all those itchy little bugs. It's a win-win. But I don't want to die. Not really. Silly Millie. For someone who doesn't want to die, you spend a lot of time talking about it. But, yeah, you want to die. But that's the thing, the way of things, isn't it? Talk is always easier than action, I think. When I said I wanted to die, I really just wanted to escape. I didn't want death. I just want my life to be different. Oh, but that takes action, doesn't it? changing a life for the better, especially when the world is such a mean and rotten place. It's so much easier and ultimately much more satisfying to just snuff it out. Which brings me to my second set of options. Much more interesting ones. These are quick and easy for you. For the most part, they require a little bit more effort of me, but I'm not complaining though. There's nothing more that I like than a good challenge to relieve my boredom. So, say, you like Dracula, don't you? Why? Do you want to bite my neck? Now, how would I do that with you in my belly, silly Millie? Silly girl. I know you were a Dracula fan. The kids at school call you Dracula's daughter after all, don't they? Well, what you may not know is that the character Dracula was inspired by a real person. Cool, huh? A prince named Vlad Dracula. But he's better known as his nickname. Vlad the Impaler. Just kidding, I'm not dead. Dang it! Okay. Anyways. Vlad killed millions of his... I sound like Dracula. Vlad killed millions of his enemies. Oh wait, I sound like Mario. Woohoo! Yahoo! Oh, it's raining outside. What am I doing? Vlad killed thousands of its enemies. But... Vlad killed thousands of its enemies. But his crowning achievement was creating a forest of the impaled, where thousands of victims, men, women, and children were all skewered through stakes, driven to the ground. Now, I'm no prince, but I can inspire a level of achievement. But one good little impaling can't be too hard, can it? I could just take one of my metal rods and drive it through my body cavity, and it'll go straight through you and on the other side. If the spike hits your vital organs, death comes quickly. But if it doesn't, it could take some hours of bleeding and suffering. The people who walk through the forest of the impaled talking about the moaning and gasping of the victims. So, impaling, one might say, the other deaths impale in comparison. It can work out quickly or slowly, but the result is the same in the end. Like I said, win-win. No. No? Sheesh. Pity. I always thought impaling had a certain dramatic flair. Perhaps something with a little bit more zing. Electrocution is always an effective option. Did you know the idea of the electric chair was developed in the 1800s by a scientist called Alfred P. Southwick? He came up with the idea of the electric chair based on his dental chair. Not exactly comforting for people with dental phobias, isn't it? Well, I don't have a chair to strap you into, unfortunately. But I do have the power to send a strong signal of electric currents through my body cavity. And if the current zaps your heart or your brain, you'll die quickly. But if it doesn't, you'll have some nasty, nasty burns. And your heart will go into fibrillation. Hold up. Okay, got it right. Fibrillation. And I think we established, which will generally kill you if you don't have help, but we already established you don't have anyone to help you. Boo-hoo. So, cupcake electrocution. You'll be shocked at how effective it is. An electrifyingly good time. A good time for you, not for me. My, we certainly are a picky one, aren't we? For someone who wants an end result, We are awfully fussy on how to achieve it. But there's a lot more options. I feel like a waiter talking my way into a menu of a fancy restaurant. The difference, of course, that one menu gets you fed and the other gets you dead. Oh, I cracked myself up. I was talking about food. What about boiling? Did you know that Henry Ville made boiling alive an official form of punishment during his reign? Funny that they call it boiling alive, because goodness knows they don't stay alive for very long. But I could easily flood myself in with water and use my energy stored to bring the temperature up and up and up. First, it feel like a nice, warm, soft bath. Then it would get hotter and hotter and hotter. I wonder if you turn red like a lobster. Please don't boil me alive. Boiling? No! No! My Funtime Freddy plush. No, my Funtime Freddy plush has a marker stain. Curse you, marker. Get out of here. Anyways, by the way, this song called Death Mask by Kurt Camion, Death Mask, does not exist. I typed it in and seeing if it's actually real, and it doesn't actually exist. Okay, so don't even try. I've tried searching YouTube, searched everywhere I couldn't find it. Millie searched YouTube. I searched YouTube for it. Exact song, but I couldn't find it. And it was just making sure. Anyways, back to the story. Yeah, not boiling. Well, understandable. By many accounts, it is a nasty way to go. People who observed boilings during Henry Ville's time said it was so sickening they would rather prefer to see a beheading. Oh, there's a good one we haven't talked about. Decapitation! Decapitation! There are many ways to chop off a head, of course. If the blade's sharp enough, it goes fairly quick and painless. But if it isn't, if the blade isn't sharp enough, well, poor Mary, Queen of Scots, had to get 3 hacks from the headman's duel before her noggin was liberated from her body. The guillotine was quick and clean, though. Didn't require any particular skill on the part of the executioner, which made it easy to get rid of all those rich snots during the French Revolution. They lined them up and ran through the guillotine like an assembly line. Or should I say, a dissembly line. Whatever it is, they seem to have a very good time. Did you know chokers were part of the French Revolution? It's destiny. Sorry, Millie. Your head's gotta go. Sorry. Saudi Arabia is where your parents are, am I right? They use beheading as their preferred form of capital punishment. They use a sword, which I find rather stylish and dramatic. I want to be safe. I want to feel safe. Meanwhile, back in the story. I don't have a sword like the Saudi Arabia executioner, silly Millie. But I do have a sharp piece of metal I could pass through the chamber. It could pass at the level to your throat, and, or it could hit your lower and bisect you. Bisection is sure the way to go. Either way, the job would get done. Think of it as a smooth Madame Guillotine instead of a slow, dull hacking like Mary Queen of Scots experience. But I'm not 100% sure. This is my first attempt at decapitation. Yours too, but it'll also be your last. Okay. Funtime Freddy's leg is better and anyway, back to the story. Meanwhile, Millie, are you still with me? A decision must be made. Millie, are you still with me? A decision must be made. Is there any chance you would just let me go? Anything in exchange for your life? Anything I could have given in exchange for my life, Lamb Chop? There's nothing I want from you except your life. Fine. Okay. Okay. Decapitation it is. Really? Excellent choice. It's a classic. I promise you won't be disappointed. You won't be disappointed because you'll be dead. Tell me when you're gonna do it. Don't just spring it on me. Fair enough, I suppose. It's not like you're going anywhere. Now, give me a few minutes to get ready. You know what they say, prior preparation prevents poor performance. Millicent Fitzsimmons, you have been sentenced to die for crimes against humanity. Wait, what does that mean, crimes against humanity? You have been rude and quick to anger. You have rushed to judgment of others. You have insufficiently grateful for those who have shown you nothing but love and kindness. The voice was right. Different incidents of her own rudeness and ingratitude played in her scene, in her head, like a movie she didn't want to see. Guilty as charged. But wait. But why are those crimes I have to die for? Those are crimes of humanity that everyone's guilty from time to time. True. That's why they're crimes of humanity. But if they're crimes for humanity, then why do I have to die for them? Maybe she could just talk her way out. Because you're the one who crawled into my belly. Millie was whining, made herself as small as she could in the chest cavity. In the spirit of the French Revolution, I shall now do a countdown in French before releasing the blade. Un, deux, trois, trois. And that's the ending.